Welcome to Melanie's monthly news in May, and this month I thought I would give you a tour of our little garden here in Wales on what is the most beautiful sunny day, and standing in front of our lovely clematis, which is only a couple of years old, but it is just incredible, and the smell is divine. The scent, particularly in the evening, it's just beautiful. So I hope you enjoy the tour. So we're just outside our back door of our cottage, and we've got a lovely delphinium, and as you can see, the bumblebees love them. The colours of the delphinium that are just incredible, and they work really well with the yellows and the creams of the clematis. So that runs down the hedge, down the fence. I don't have any really exciting plants, but we've got quite a few different things that I've collected over the time. And gradually things will come out into flower as the season moves on. The summer so far, I don't think we've had rain for about three or 4 weeks now, which is really unusual for us here. You can see how dry the soil is. I mean, I keep having to water the plants early morning and late evening to keep everything alive. Which is, you know, again, very unusual for us here in Wales. And it's been a really hard winter. You can see these plants, they should be 2 or 3 times the size that they are. We had loads of frosts. This little geranium's just coming out into flower now, but they should be much bigger than they are. So the winter really did hit them. We lost quite a few different plants during the winter as well. But the grasses have done really well, and we've got water for the birds. The little sparrows like to bath in there. And we've just got little happy flowers. It's nice to wander down here in the morning, going down to the studio, just to see a little splash of colour. Going down to the gate. So I lost a honeysuckle there this year, which I'd planted quite a few years ago, and it was absolutely fine last year, but the hard winter did for that. So some of these aces I've had just bought 1 or 2 every year, so we've got quite a few nice little different ones now, and we've got some strawberries and some lettuce. The lettuce is nearly ready to start picking, and I'm sure the blackbirds will be down for the strawberries when they're getting ripe, but we will try to beat them to it. And this pot of strawberries here is looking a little bit sorry for itself, because the chickens did escape and they did attack my strawberries. So naughty chickens. So I probably need to get some new ones, not new chickens, but new strawberries to put in there. And this is the little wildlife pond we've got some irises and lily pads and monster plants, and there's some tadpoles. I don't know if you can actually see, there's a little tadpole just down there. It's quite late, and there's another tadpole there too, basking in the sunshine. We've got water boatmen and snails, and there's some newts in there. We haven't seen any this year, but they are in there, and obviously frogs. Then we've got a peony. We've had 1 flower already, and there's beautiful flower. They don't last very long, but they're beautiful while they're here. And then what about that little chappy? And this is a bit of a mishmash of a border where I've got all sorts of things. Anything that I find in the garden that I need to move, it ends up in this border, so it's a little bit of a mishmash of all sorts of things. So this is our little top cottage garden where we can sit out in the sunshine and entertain. And then if we come down here, we've actually got another gate here. So this is around the back of the pond, and we come down here and see how dry it all is. There's another little border there with a rose and hostas and Granny's bonnets. And another massive great big acer. That we were given as a very small plant, and that's grown up hugely with an apple tree and the cherry tree. And then looking down to the studio, and the garden is looking, the grass is looking really nice at the moment. I know that because we haven't had rain for quite a long time, the grass is going to gradually go a little bit brown. It's brown in patches, but at the moment it's kind of surviving. And then we're moving up to the lovely trees. And as I say, you know, this time of the year is my favourite because everything is in rich green leaf and it just feels really nice. Oh, you can hear the chickens. And then wandering around here, a good place to have lunch. And here's this little girl. Hello, Lily. Are you in the shade? Good girl. Coming down towards the chickens and towards the studio. Another little border bed with little happy flowers. The chickens, when they escape, they do tend to like going in here as well, which is very naughty of them. But I like having all the different colours, and there's Lily following us. And we've got another geranium and some lovely little yearly flowers. Another acer, another hosta. And you know, actually, I'm not quite sure what that is, but it's quite pretty. So I do sometimes pick these things up from the nursery and then do tend to forget what they are. And how did Lily get there again? And then here's the chickens. Hey guys. And there's Snowy, Dotty and Daisy. So I hope you've enjoyed the little trip around the garden. And say goodbye, Lily. Bye, Lily.